So it's a beautiful Tuesday morning, the 10th day of February, which means 4 more days to read.
4 more to go.
Yeah, 4 more to go. But you are making it look like the month is ended. But good morning to you.
4 more to decide whether you be main, you be side, you be in fifi.
So 4 more to do more for the one who deserves more.
Allah, that's it, buzz.
Oh goodness, good morning to you. Welcome to GA today here on GHOne television. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah, and I'm here with the award-winning superstar, super trending, the most popular lady in Ghana as of this moment. She needs no introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kusasi goddess, the Onye serious Lily. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, my darling. The Kusasi goddess, yes. The fancy brony.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
Please, my mother is watching, my grandmother is watching.
You have to at least.
And let me honor them,
Right. You honor them the way you have honored us, and we have also honored you. So good morning and welcome once again. It's going to be a really exciting time this morning, all the way till 10 a.m. We've got the latest in the world of sports. We'll also talk to you about what is happening in court. And the Ayawaso East Wahala looks like it's going nowhere, because now we are having a lot of people now wading into the conversation. Baba Jamal says has met with the committee, and they've taken his, he says he's denied any allegation of inducing voters, because that's not what he did. He never induced any voter.
It's interesting, you know, that particular thing that flies on social media a few moments later.
Yeah.
You know, on the day of the primaries, when he was asked about the television set, he said, but there's nothing wrong. He's done too many things for the constituents. Then a few moments later, he says, people give out TVs. He had it after the post that it was friends of Baba Jamal. Wow. Anyway. But
you are not the investigative committee.
That's what, anyway, I am not the investigative committee.
Oh, goodness.
I don't sit on the committee. I don't chair it. So, unfortunately, I don't have a say. But, thankfully, the report will come out today to be presented to the Functional Executive Committee of the NDC. They will decide what should be done. If it is annulled, what happens to the process. Now, mind you, his opponents from the NPP and the independent candidate are busily campaigning. What will happen? Are we going to see a rerun? And if we see a rerun, will he emerge victorious again? Especially after some Zango chiefs have thrown their weight behind him. Will it carry the weight it's supposed to?
And you know, I have a challenge with that, because now the chiefs say that looking at the temperature in Nima as of now, if there is any annulment, things will escalate.
Yeah, it's likely.
And I think it has a lot of security dynamics as well. But I'm sure that going into the show would have those conversations for you as well.
Absolutely. Let's start by motivating you. No.
So the quote of the day is from Ramdas, who says, "The quieter you become, the more you can hear." The quieter you become, the more you can hear. And I think it really resonates with a lot. You know, sometimes when you just relax and then zip your lips, that's when you hear what people really say about you. Because in the midst of the noise, you get drowned in your own voices and you don't get to hear what people are saying. But just take a chill pill, relax, watch them. You hear.
Then you know how they really feel about you.
Yeah, you get to know. You get to know. So that's our quote for the day. But like Lee always says, let's pump you up for the morning. It's a Tuesday, so to the Kwabness and the Abness, Charlie, good morning to y'all, and let's pump you up now. Charlie, I love South Africans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think this year I want to go to South Africa.
You should.
Yeah,
they are beautiful people.
Yeah. The culture,
Yes.
the culture.
Joshua, there, he will love South Africa.
Yeah.
I know.
And then the landscape, the fact that even as much as they are in Africa, it snows in South Africa. There's Zulu, KwaZulu-Natal, and how they say French, a friend, chomi.
Chomi.
I have a lot of chomis there, so we should go to SA. Let's go to SA this year. Yeah. Won't see us here, young cockroach. Right.
Right, Captain has joined us. He took a sabbatical.
Yeah.
He's back.
With a bang.
Yeah. Captain, good morning. How have you been?
Good morning, Lily. Good morning, Joshua, Kodjo, Mensah. I've been good.
Queen or T1?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. I was
good
off
to
for
see.
a few days, at least a little over a week. But thank God I'm here.
Life is
Thank
good.
you. Yes.
It was an issue that is beyond
Your
my
control.
Yeah, so good to be here, and I like the way Lily is always pumping us up and all of that. I saw your husband, Kodjo Mensah.
Okay.
So the two of you have been coupled, isn't it? So the day that
Tell her my wife is watching the show.
Just say.
My wife is
Kodjo
watching the
Mensah.
show. Good morning, my
On
wife.
countless occasions. As for your wife,
Let me address my wife. Good morning, my wife.
You mention your wife's name.
You said, good morning, my wife. Why? I have only one wife. She knows her
you
name.
say,
But did I say you have two wives?
Mrs. Mensah, good morning.
Why?
you were slain tire.
Meaning
This
the
is the
Osman.
Bakuslo. Yesterday, I saw some pictures of you on social media, and the captions that came with it. I saw a lot of people sharing, and those who are sharing the captions that they were.
You are here to record today.
I know.
Or come on, someone tell us
I
I'm
loud.
Titu Adam so. So you know
But
the
you are born
squad.
for, are you not?
But that's not court.
But who asked you to mention
If you
family
have
matter
issue, you
here?
definitely go to court. So don't worry.
so
So
go
just
to
prepare
court.
yourself. When you have issue, you know where to go.
Mrs. Mensah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Bobby.
Thank you for the 4 beautiful babies you've
Yes,
given
yes,
my
yes.
honourable brother. Yeah, we love you so much.
You don't want us to say it, but we'll say it. Yeah. So those of you who are crashing.
Yes, those of you who are crashing. Market no maseno. Please.
I didn't know that time is
The more you spoil the market, the more the market goes up.
Market value will appreciate.
Yeah, the market value keeps appreciating.
Anyway, Captain, a lot has been happening in court.
a lot
Boku is in the news.
Yes. A lot's been happening. Yesterday, Boku was in the news and is still in the news because Alhaji Seidu Abagri, we know that he has been charged and then he was remanded because the court did not grant him bail at the last time that he was arraigned, and then he was charged, pleaded not guilty. Yesterday the case was called, and once the case was called, one thing was going to happen. The court was going to find out about the status of disclosures filed by the prosecution, directive or orders for the prosecution to file their necessary processes and all of that. Director, if you can show us the video, then we'll go through some of the interesting scenes at the law court complex yesterday. So that is Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Mensah. And look at the scenes here. This is just the entrance of the law court complex. This is the main entrance of the law court complex. It's only the road that separates the two. And police officers will have to mount barricades to ensure that security was always there. And this jubilation was at the time that they heard that Alhaji Seidu Abagri, popularly known as Nashiriga, was
granted bail.
Yes, was granted bail yesterday in a sum of 100,000 Ghana cedis with 2 sureties. And the bail conditions comes with, or the bail sum comes with condition 1. One of the conditions is such that he's unable to travel outside the jurisdiction of Accra. So in case he want to travel,
so he cannot. It can only be within the suburbs,
the jurisdiction of Accra.
So he
can't even go to Kaswa.
To go and eat. Kaswa.
Yeah, Kaswa is central region. As I see the central region, so you cannot go to Kaswa.
Yeah, Noreen. You can't visit Noreen.
You can't visit Noreen. Yeah. So that is
one of the Bree Gardens too.
No. Yeah, you cannot get to Bree Gardens too. They are Mensah.
Yes, after the toll booth.
No, you cannot cross it.
They'll call him back.
And then when you get to Adan, that stretch, you can't go to there until such time that the court determines otherwise. So, as part of the bail conditions, also the court makes the point that he should not hold himself as a supreme leader or as a leader or as a chief of the people that he represents. It's a case that Martin Kpebu has indicated that is not for the High Court to decide or to see, and so they will be challenging that part of it. So yesterday, good news for him, and the reason the judge actually commended the parties in this particular case, Deputy Attorney General Dr. GHOne for the prosecution and Martin Kpebu for the defense or the accused person. The reason the judge, Justice Halima El Alawa Abdul Basit, took time to commend them is that the tension associated with this case and the way the two parties have been able to calm down things is amazing. It's and yesterday, one of the traits of why the judge would even commend them was to the fact that Deputy Attorney General's interaction with the man in question, it was so cordial, the kind of exchanges that took place between them, and that has been evident to show that yes, the man is in a place where he's safe, he's comfortable, and the surrounding, even his relationship with the other party, his relationship with lawyer Martin Kpebu, and how they managed to get the whole thing done is so admirable. It was the reason the judge yesterday took time to acknowledge their cooperation, to acknowledge their efforts in ensuring that there's peace, they not incite violence. Martin Kpebu always, when he comes out, try to explain what transpired in court to the people, let them understand what has happened. And yesterday, as you can see rightly from the videos and why the people were celebrating, was that he took turns to break things down for them, break things down to let them understand why the court is saying that you're not supposed to travel out of the jurisdiction and all of that. So yesterday he realized that the security arrangement very, very tight and all of that. The police, they were there in their numbers. Martin Kpebu has been reacting moments after. Let's hear from him on the issue of bail.
Would the state be able to keep him in custody forever? No. So to make it simple, it's good the state has done the honorable thing by saying they are not opposed to bail, and so that tells a very good story that this is a state that 2 weeks ago was minded to keep him in custody. 2 weeks on, the state says, represented by the Deputy Attorney General Dr. Mensah, saying that they are not opposed to bail. So accused has been admitted to bail, and we are taking steps to fulfill the bail conditions. So that's good.
So Martin Kpebu, who is counsel for Na Shiriga or Alhaji Seidu Abagri, giving us some perspective on the issue of the bail and all of that. And yesterday, on the issue of why the court is saying that he should not travel out of the jurisdiction, Martin Kpebu has this to say.
Right, that if he wants to go outside Accra, he has to seek leave of the court. Yes, it's because of the security situation. So the court is saying that anytime he wants to go out of Greater Accra, that's the one he has to inform the court. So we'll do a motion. They apply to the court that, let's say, he wants to go to Nalerigu or he wants to go to Tamale.
So Martin Kpebu, who is the counsel for Na Shiriga over there. So yesterday, when they were advancing argument in court, prosecution makes the point that yes, they are in the process of completing the filing of disclosures and all of that, and drew the court attention to the fact that there are some of the disclosures that the way they are, they want to file it in camera. It will not go through the normal registry processes and all of that. Martin Kpebu said he doesn't have any objection to that. Then he repeated the bail request that was advanced earlier, which was turned down. And one of the things that he added was that, except to say that they want to add that the accused person has agreed that when granted bail, he will remain in Accra until such time that the case is determined and all of that. So and as part of this one, the court took time to commend them. And let's hear from Mantekwebu on why or how he feels about the commendation given by the judge.
I've been appealing to the people, and I'm going back there to appeal to them to be calm, right? All of that have contributed to the calm situation, the peace that we have. And in court too, we've not unnecessarily made the work of the judge difficult. But you know, this tension is not only tension among the people, it also translates to lawyer and translates to the court as well.
Yeah, so for now, all that's around. So bring more updates on this very one and all of that. So that's it for the issue of Boko and Alhaji Seidu Abagri and all of AK Nashiriga and all of that.
What's the latest on the specialized court sessions?
Yeah, so I'm sure that earlier in the year when the new Chief Justice came in, one of the things that he's been speaking about, even when he was in acting capacity, is the issue of how to deal with some of the issues that are militating against the progress of this country, things that are affecting this country, things that, and what should be done differently to curtail those issues and all of that. And so the Chief Justice within has been doing some few things, and those actions that he's been taking is to ensure that the judiciary remain in touch with the issues at hand. You know, society keep evolving. As you go forward, things come up, and then situations have to change. Things will have to be done to adjust or to be able to curtail the movement and all of that. So within internally, there have been some training for the staff. There have been some alignment. There seems been some sensitization and all of that to apprise them on the fact that the CJ will be setting up specialized courts, and those specialized courts will be dealing with specific cases and all of that. So earlier we saw a similar circular which was telling us about the fact that currently the High Court sittings have been adjusted or have been revised from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now it is no more 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. So that means that the court will now sit even up to 6:30 p.m. and all of that.
24-hour economy.
24 hour.
Can we have instances where
this one is 12 hours.
Can we have instances where at least we'll even have to do 24 hours and probably resort to a hybrid session?
I think we'll get there. I think we'll get there, especially when the issue of the e-justice is at full length. I think that we'll have courts sitting all over the country throughout in the night and all of that. So in addition to that communique, that circular to judges at all hierarchy or all levels, the CJ has also been telling them about the specific cases and even the name of that specialized court in another circular that was released on the 5th of January. Let me go through that quickly with you, which states that, well, by virtue of the powers conferred on me by subsection 3 of Section 14 of the Court Act 1993, Act 459, I hereby establish a division of the High Court to be known as Specialized High Court Division. And pay attention to it. Specialized High Court Division. The division shall consist of such justices of the Superior Court of Adjudicature as shall from time to time be assigned to sit in it. But what are the cases that qualify to be in this specialized session of court? And these cases include A, causes or matters, criminal or civil, emanating from the report of the Auditor General. So now reports from Auditor General, whether criminal or civil, the specialized court will deal with. So those who are charged, who have been found to have misappropriated sums of money, sometimes you hear that, ask them to pay the money, or sometimes that they will recommend some punishment. Those cases will go before the specialized court. B, causes or cases or matters, criminal or civil, relating to the provision of minerals and mining acts. We had issues of galamsey and all of that. This is your court. Then another issue that has to do with degradation of the environment. We're degrading the environment, pulling down trees, enter into the forest reserve and do your own thing. there's a court for you now to deal with the issues. Again, issues arising under the office of the special prosecutor. And yesterday I was telling you about the Mustafa Hamid's case. This is a case the OSP. There's a reason that case yesterday did not come on, because it is one of the cases that goes under this specialized court. Absolutely. So that one, it's clear. Then the cases involving from recovery of property in which the state has an interest. So you are found to be in possession of some state property, you bought some state land when you are not supposed to buy the state car very cheap and all of that. This court is for you. When you are being found, you go there. Issues of narcotic drugs is also there for you, and the enforcement of the law, you also appear before this specialized court. And of course, cyber security is also an issue that will feature prominently in this particular section, and all of that matters that will come to the attention of the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice will direct same. So these are the issues that the specialized court, High Court Division, will be dealing with as far as this new initiative is concerned. And yesterday, you realize that most of the things that were taking place were administrative ones, try to ensure that cases that have to go to those courts are being tabled around and all of that. Yesterday, I've been engaging some of the lawyers about their take on this specialized initiative.
Good. The Chief Justice is doing the right thing and on the right course, because you cannot have cases clogging up in courts, especially with these sort of high tension and very complex cases that requires a lot of detail, evidence and witnesses and things like that. A provision like this will help to make sure that trial can be expedient and justice can be swift. And so I'm in support of it. When the evidence are available and the evidence are there, then why not? It's a good thing.
Patience, for me, is the best. It's going to help the speedy discharge or disposal of cases which are pending before the court. Justice delayed, they say justice denied. So if the Chief Justice has thought it wise to come out with such an innovation to ensure that some of the cases are speedily dealt with, that is an order. Some of us are in support 100%. Nobody comes to court expecting that we'll be in the court for years without justice. So for some of us, the Chief Justice is doing well, and we must commend him.
So, Lawyer Yaudankwa and Raymond Feli reacting to that particular initiative, they believe that it is good, it's a good one, and that will help reduce the backlog of cases and all of that. So that's it. So I mentioned Mustafa Hamid, his case. So yesterday when the case came out for case management conference, they were referred to go and see the registrar and then all of that. So definitely this case will be reassigned. The trial has not started yet. It was for pre-trial hearings, case management conference. So this is one of the specialized or the cases that the specialized court will be dealing with in all of that. Then SkyTrain, Professor Christopher Ameyakunfi, then Mr. Solomon Asamoah. So Mr. Solomon Asamoah is the one in glasses entering the court. So yes, this is the video when he was arriving at the court yesterday. And yesterday, first prosecution witness cross-examination has ended. Prosecution, his lawyers led by Yao Champon Boafo, the former GBA president, took the witness on, a former board member of GIF. And all of that on the 2 million SkyTrain project, and it was very interesting and conversation engagement. But as we speak, following the conclusion of cross-examination of PW1, when you hear PW1, it means first prosecution witness. He has been discharged. So tomorrow, the second prosecution witness will mount the witness board before Justice Audrey Kokuvite, and of course Deputy Attorney General was present in court yesterday. Sefako Bache, Chief State Attorney, was also present in court in relation to that. Of course, Victoria Bath, who is lawyer for the first accused person, Solomon Asamoah, and Champon Boafo, I beg your pardon, is lawyer for Professor Christopher Ameyakunfi. Yesterday, all of them were present in court in relation to this matter. But today we expect National Service Ghost names. Yes. Gifty or Mensah. Yes, you note that case is coming out. Her lawyers are asking that the trial be put on hold because during the case management conference and all of that, the court made an order that file the list and addresses of your witnesses. Should it become necessary, or should it becomes should we get to the stage where the court finds as a fact that prosecution has made a case against you, then you don't struggle now going to look for witnesses. She is saying that directive in the practical direction, it's inconsistent with provisions in the 1992 Constitution and one there that refer to the Supreme Court for interpretation. So today, Justice Audrey Kokurite will make a ruling whether to refer the matter to the Supreme Court, or the court will say that there's nothing to refer. The provisions are as clear as daylight, and so there's no ambiguity about it. Then we know what to do. So that is the case. And Dr. Indum will also be in the news relation to GHOne Bank and all of that. So expect more today.
Okay. You'll be busy today. We wish you all the best in that regard. Yes, so that's it for court today. Thank you very much, Mutala. We take a break here. When we come back, Joshua Kodjo Mensah.
You had to say that. She had to say that.
Since with our amazing guests who do a lot of talking about Ayawa, so we'll talk about the perception, corruption perception, especially now that we are ranking 43rd, 76th in the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
With 43 out of 100.
Hey!
So 43%. It's okay. At this point, we can just sing A, B, Ye, Ye. We'll see you right after the break. Well, thank you so much for staying on with us here on GA Today. This is the Breakfast Review segment where we get to talk about the topical issues making the rounds in the country. And sometimes I really wish that our off-air conversation is what we have on air. Because even before we start a conversation, it gets heated in the studio, tells you exactly what to expect at home this morning. My guests are already seated. They are no strangers to the show. We have Wanda Victor Kuto Esquire, the man who's written the only book on immigration. Yeah. On the 13th of March, he's launching his book, and he will not give me the free copy, but said the immigration formally. We are looking at rules, packaging, and strategy. And I remember that when we started talking about Kenoforiata, the book came into focus a lot, and it will be launched on the 13th of March at the Ghana Shippers Authority at Ridge. And so we are inviting everybody to be a part of it, to get to see this book. And then not just come for the launch, but also go home with a copy of the book as well. Wanda is here. We also do have my very own uncle Kwame Jantwa, paralegal practitioner, and a member of the Convention People's Party. Anytime I say that with emphasis, he just smiles at me. Yeah, but
because you love the party, that's why you say it. But you love the party.
Oh, I do love the CPP.
I can bet your bottom dollar the CPP rears his head and comes up. You see what happened in the
We can't wait for the CPP to raise it. And we also do have, of course, Ali Maiga Halidu Esquire. He is a former member of Parliament for Doma West. So, gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And nice to have you here.
Thank you.
The way Wanda is just nodding and then smiling, because he knows today I'll start with him.
Freshman, don't do that. I wanted you to start with him.
But okay, Wanda, before we even get to the conversation, how is it coming up? The launch, how preparations going for the launch of the book?
Oh, so far so good. So far so good. The immigration formula, we are all anticipating the launch of it. So far, our book reviewer, the guest speaker who arrived in Ghana on March 10th, is a UK-based immigration lawyer and asylum practitioner. A lawyer Ransford Echo. He will be in Ghana on March 10th. Our chairman has confirmed attendance. The senior justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Emmanuel Lunikolendi, and my godfather, the Honorable Minister for Energy and Petroleum, Energy and Green Transition, the Honorable Dr. John Abdullah Jinapo, will also be at the launch, and many more people will be there.
And what's the time?
More importantly, the time is 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. 4 p.m.
Okay.
More important, I think about this book is the key topics that we are looking at: the issue of asylum, refugees, revocation of visa, difference between visa and the status. Some people, when they get 5 years visas, then they are happy, but they forget that it doesn't mean that you go and be there for 5 years, because if the 5-year visa gets expired and you're going for reapplication or renewal, your previous record or history will determine whether or not you'll be approved or not. And also, each visa and what you can do with the visa. So if you have a B1, B2 tourist visa, for example, you cannot use that to study in the US. Even though you are physically present in the US, you will probably have to change your status from a B1 status to an F1 status, or you go out of the US and reapply for an F1 student category. And I'm happy. Today I'm here with my seniors at the bar. And I'm happy for Senior Kwame Jantwa.
I'm very senior. You're not my senior.
Oh, really? I was called 2023.
I was called this last year.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. But for Senior Kwame Jantwa, he has been in the bar for long. I always thank him for his advices and all of that. So far, so good. And I thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. We need to do this.
Thank you. So it's at the Ghana Shippers Authority.
4 p.m. on the 13th of March.
Yes, and it happens to be my 35th birthday.
Oh,
yes.
Fantastic. So we'll come and celebrate with you as well.
Thank you.
But let's get into the conversations.
I must say the font sizes of the writing is quite attractive to read.
Okay.
I think
quality.
The quality too is good. But look at the pages. Make sure.
The bind. Yeah, this is just an editorial copy. Thank you so much.
Huge congratulations to you, Wanda Victor.
Hold it to the camera.
I would hope that.
Hold it to the camera.
I would hope that you would bring us free copies for us to market for you. But most importantly, that we can take it to our schools for them to also understand.
Yes, please.
Because they are the kind of people who, the moment they finish a Babruchako, not knowing exactly what it means by going to Babruchako. So if we can get it into the schools too, I think it will help.
Yes, please. Yes,
and if you can do a copy of it, once this comes out,
yes, please.
Infographics copy.
Yes, please.
So that people can
information
also understand.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Free consulting on the show. Just because we appreciate you.
Yeah. It's a freshman. I hear his woman.
We have got to help each other.
Right. So let's get into the conversations, and I want to start with Ayawaso East. Now, yesterday, the chiefs in Nima precisely held a press conference, and their issues were very simple. That looking at the temperature currently in Nima, they believe that if there's an annulment of the primaries that we saw last week Saturday, it would breed chaos in Nima. And we also know that the probe has started. Baba Jamal has issued a statement that he went before the committee. He's indeed told them that he did not buy votes, he did not induce voters, among others. Wanda, your take on the matter?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning to my seniors. Good morning to yourself, your producers, and our viewers.
Right.
I must say that this is a straightforward conversation, and I will be as honest as much as possible. What are the facts of the matter? A city MP unfortunately passed away. The EC had released a date to conduct a by-election. And as it is the practice, the NDC decided to conduct a primary to elect a candidate to represent the party in the upcoming by-election. The election were held last Saturday. Now, in the morning of the election, some videos popped up on social media.
Yeah.
Where we saw, I saw, for example, people receiving television sets. And as you know, there were also events leading to that Saturday morning. There were engagement behind the scenes and all of that. One of the aspirants, now I can say the elected aspirant, now the parliamentary candidate as of now, said he gave the TV as a gift to delegates, and that these TVs are not meant to induce the delegates to vote. He went further to say that this is not the first time he's doing something of a kind nature to persons within the constituency.
He says he spends about 2 million cedis every year given to the community.
And I want us to take notice of the fact that he's not new in that constituency. Yes. The last time, in fact, the Honorable Nazar, may his soul rest in peace, Baba Jamal came second to him. So he had been in that constituency for quite some time now. We need to ask ourselves, delegate election in this country, how is it run? 2 weeks ago, I was on the sister station and we had to do some mathematics. The MPP had a presidential primaries, and transport alone for one of the candidates was 700 Ghana cedi times 210,000 delegates. Let's do the calculation. You will get 147 million Ghana cedi. Dr. Brian Champo, that was what he spent just for transportation. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the former vice president of this country, who worked and received money from the taxpayers, she gave 500 Ghana cedi per delegate as transport. 500 Ghana cedi. The delegates were a little over 210,000. But let's just use the minimum, 210,000 delegates. So 500 times 210,000. You will get 105 million Ghana cedi. I can go to the amount spent by the Honorable Japan. I'm bringing this in context because I don't want us to do politics with this issue. I feel like there should be a national discourse on how we go around internal election. And I'm happy that senior members of both the MPP and the NDC are in the Supreme Court to even push further on how elections should be done within various parties. They are calling for the abolishment of the delegate system. Right. The NDC took a bold step in 2015. Exactly. By allowing each party member who has a party card to vote. In fact, I contested for a parliamentary primaries in our constituency. I used to be the constituency deputy secretary. I resigned to contest the parliamentary primaries. You will be shocked. I won't mention them. Some aspirants had to register MPP people to enter our register so that they could vote for them to win or to partake in the primaries. Not just in Anglo constituency. It was across the country. People somehow got their names into registers to vote. So, moving forward, then this had lost the 2016 election and reversed and went back to the delegate system. There are suggestions coming from different angles. Should we go back to the biometric system where all NDC members who are registered can vote? The view, those making this argument contend that it will be difficult to buy everybody or to give gifts. So, for example, if every NDC member in Ayawaso has a vote, if you want to share television, then you have to share television to everybody. And this is practically impossible. So it's a conversation that we have to have.
But I wonder, do you think that will really stop people from demanding and also the aspirants from giving?
Look, even in America, national elections, there's one way or the other people try to influence, even policy decision. We are in this country. Just when we are approaching second round, President Kufuor reduced the prices of fuel. And yes, we could say that he was doing his work as president, but people interpreted that to say that no, you reduce this price because we are going to vote for a second round. Your candidate couldn't win the election on the first round. You get the point. President Kufuor probably didn't reduce the price because of the votes, but perception in politics is important.
Right.
People were right to infer that it was because we have about a week or two to the second round. That is why prices had fallen. What I'm saying, I don't want to do politics this morning. I want us to have a fair conversation. Now, those calling for annulment, I am of the humble opinion, and I'll be very honest.
And in terms of those, you're talking about the majority caucus in Parliament.
Yes. They have acted, let me use the word ultra-virus, and I use this advisedly. Because a committee has been set up by the party. The party has set up a committee which have the majority leader on the said committee at the time. So why the haste? Why the rush? Allow the committee to do its work and come up with its findings. You see, my view is that the majority in Parliament wanted to influence the decision or the outcome of the investigation. That is what comes to mind when I read their statement. It was a calculated step to interfere in the affairs of the committee.
Is there division between the majority and the party itself?
No. Like you know, this is a democratic party. There are caucuses, there are interest groups. So it's okay if people have their interest and they want to push it through. But from where I sit, and I must say that the majority, they took the step. Their letter was a calculated step to interfere and influence the decision, the yet to be published report of the committee. I thought that they could have waited and allowed the committee to do its work. But no institution is permanent. It's perfect. Sorry, no institution is perfect. So I wouldn't blame the majority too much. My only advice is that next time, if a similar issue happens, they should go slow, take their time, and allow the system to work. But I wouldn't say because of this one error, I want to condemn the majority. I wouldn't say that. But on this particular note, the majority could have done better. My view is that the party should allow the committee to submit its report today, and then allow FEC and NEC to implement or take a decision on the report of the committee. I wouldn't sit here and say the result to be annulled or not. When I do that, I'll be doing the same thing I'm complaining about.
Right.
Because I'm a member of NEC. Our party has set out a report, a committee to come up with its findings. The report is not yet out, and I will be on television to say that the result should be annulled or not. Then what difference will it make between me and then the majority that have said that they have heard on their part? Thank you.
Okay. Ali, you are noting quite a number of things down.
Yeah, bro. Let me say good morning to you, and let me greet your cherished viewers. I was just not necessarily taking the, but I was just laughing I was surprised. One day I was trying to rope in the MPP, just behaving like the OSP, who was seeking an equalization just because people have called for probe into the Ayawaso primaries. It is important that we discuss this issue as a country and discuss it very well, especially this voter inducement and the cost of running to become an MP or running to become a president. I've always made a point that we need a national conversation, and I always propose the two political parties must come together and deal with this matter. A lot of things we are seeing in our political space is because of the kind of money, the amount of money we use during our primaries. I must be honest with you. Currently, in some strongholds, for example, if you go to if you're an MPP and you're running for an MP in Ashanti region, the amount of money you have to use. Likewise, you're in the Volta region and you are running for an MP for in particular for NDC, the same similar expenditure. Those in the swing constituencies get it because you are not too sure whether or not we are going to win, because it can go either way. So for those constituencies, the cost is not as expensive as the strongholds. You see, it also talks about it affects our fight against corruption, because you go to office and you spend so much money, and then you realize that no, there's no way I'm going to recoup my investment. So in that regard, I think we need to have a national conversation. But what the NDC is doing in Ayawaso West is not because they hate voter inducement. No, it's just because it is a particular person. Why would the presidency recall Baba Jama and then pronounce him guilty before the investigation?
You mean the statement that record him on the basis of allegations of
exactly. So the president, just on the mere allegation, the presidency recalled him. Then you set up an investigation. So for me, it was just prejudicial.
Okay.
Well, you pronounce the man guilty and you ask him to go to court. You get it? So, and then the majority comes in, another the voting. So if you combine all these things together, it tells you that it's not because NDC hates what happened in Ayawaso, but it's because Baba Jama won the election. Because it was a system candidate against the so-called cadres, and then the cadres won. So people think that, oh, we have the power, let's show the people where power lies. That is why what is happening. Well, you see, those who are calling for the annulment, I'm not sure any political party can sit and say, I'm annulling election. It has to go to court. And if you go to court, you have to show locus. So for me, I think the call for annulment of the what do you call it, the election is premature. It's completely premature. Let's wait. Let's look at what the investigation go on. I agree Baba Jamal made certain concessions, but he admitted that he said to go back. Wonder, Baba Jamal never mentioned TVs. He never mentioned TV. It was the delegates who claimed that they took the TVs from Baba Jamal. In fact, I've seen a video where Baba Jamal said he doesn't even know people who shared the TV on his behalf, because he didn't share TV. But the video people are claiming he conceded. He said, of course, he gave certain gifts, but the gifts were not meant to induce the voters. That was his explanation. Yeah. But he didn't say that he shared the TV. So rather the delegates who claimed that they took the TVs from Baba Jama. So for me, if it's all this is going on because it's Baba Jama, I'll go to let me go to the OSP. For me, that's where my interest is. The OSP's attempt to rope in an MPP. I don't get it.
Because there were allegations of some inducement in the form of transportation as well. That also came out.
So we had our primaries
on the 31st of
on the 1st January. If OASP thinks that he had a case, must he wait till Ayawaso before issuing a joint statement? Must he wait? You see, GHOne is now, I don't know really who is advising him. I don't know who is advising him. Clearly, MPP had gone for primaries. If you have a case, or if there's any evidence that you have that there's a vote buying, must you wait till Ayawaso happen before you issue a joint statement telling Ghanaians that, we have an evidence that MPP also did that. So when this has done that, we're going to do the vote. It was just an equalization attempt. And I can understand him. There's a pressure on him to go. Coming from the NDC. Coming from the NDC. In fact, my good friend, Honorable Roxanne Damiafako, has been a champion. Champion is removal. So he thinks that bringing a MPP in will save it. But I can tell him, for me, where I sit and what we hear, nothing can save GHOne. Whether or not he investigates MPP primaries. And let me sound a question.
Right.
We are not going to sit down there for GHOne to bring our party down. No, we will not. We will not. We know whatever they paid in the just ended primaries is for transportation. Nobody has asked him to come and investigate us.
But it falls under his mandate if he feels that there are allegations of corruption and corruption-related issues.
What the allegations say?
Voter inducement?
What is the allegations say? Nobody has induced anybody to vote. You give a transport for a voter to come to a poll center to vote. And as Wanda said, this is a common. For me, it becomes a problem when you are paying huge sums.
What would be your definition of huge sums?
President Mohammed paid 40 cedis in the NDC primaries. Did GHOne investigate him? President Mohammed, he paid 40 cedis as transport. And it was transport. Did GHOne investigate
in which year?
I think that was the last one. Last primary. GHOne was still the.
But 40 cedis as transport was reasonable as compared to 700 cedis.
In my constituency, yes, that there are some areas that are accessible. Motorbike from that place to the police center will cost you, just in and out is about 200. So in and out is
then we'll start driving motors then.
It's 400. I'm telling you, it's 400.
Right.
Because those places are not accessible by vehicles. And 40 cedis in that was 2023, right? No, 2022 rather. 40 cedis in 2023. It's 40 cedis today.
Because today. Now the economy.
So why didn't GHOne investigate President Mohammed then? You see, so we are. You see, this is humbly advice to you. We are in opposition,
right?
And don't come and meddle in our face. Deal with Ayawaso. Deal with Ayawaso.
Right.
In fact, there's allegations. Some people they paid. In fact, we've had 3,000, we've had 5,000, we've had motorbikes, we've had they say Kivogari. In fact, Abonika, I've heard Abonika. I also had Kodjo Boku. These are the issues.
Allegations.
I agree with you. These are all allegations, but that calls for investigation, isn't it? So GHOne should focus on that.
Right.
GHOne should focus on and leave MPP alone.
Okay.
We've done our primaries. We've elected Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and we believe that in 2029 he will be the president of Ghana.
Okay.
So you should.
You should leave your matter for
That's by way of
leave our
education.
matter for
You know, the former Adenta PC for MPP said she spent 8 million Ghana cedi on the primaries.
Who?
What did she use the money for?
Well,
but campaigning.
The Attorney General also mentioned the amount he also spent.
Exactly.
Millions of Ghana cedis. Yes. These issues, year in, year out, whenever these political parties have rallies, primaries, we keep hearing of these things. And it looks like we are in a cycle that seems unending.
Kodjo?
Uncle.
You're a journalist, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been a journalist for?
12 years.
And during that 12-year period, how have you seen the electoral system?
Highly monetized.
Highly monetized. What kind of ludicrous and warped system do we have in this country for elections? Ludicrous and warped system. That the person who pays the highest bidder wins. What kind of system is this? And then we sit and think that, oh, it's okay, it's right. We turn an illegality into illegality. Because people pay for votes. What did Wanda say? Wanda said, what? He talked about paying for transportation.
Yeah.
That you pay your delegates for transportation. Is it the same as giving televisions? Is it the same as giving televisions? And let me ask the question. When Parliament came in and said they should annul, had Baba Jamal made his statement? Had he made his statement? When he said he should annul? And had he been recalled by the president?
Yeah.
Yes. He made his statement before the president recalled him.
Absolutely.
If he kept quiet, I don't think that would have happened. He's admitted. And, you know, the individuals won't go and hand the TVs out. It's their people who go around, oh, wait for Baba Jamal, wait freeway. Isn't that how they do it? And we think it's a good system for our country. And we are defending it because of our political parties. Is that what we are saying? Have we not seen? And I would have wished that you play Baba Jamal's statement what he made, and then you play from delegates who said, both in the MPP and NDC, who said, oh, did they not say it?
They said all of that.
Did they not say it? So what are we talking about?
They said they are gifts, not meant to induce
on that particular day. Are we children in this country? Are we children in this country? So why didn't they give it to Christmas? We just finished Christmas.
Yeah.
Why didn't they give those gifts Christmas? What kind of system are we running in this country? I don't really understand why political parties don't take the responsibility of their delegates. And you know why? Because this is a responsibility of a political party.
Right.
You're going for an internal election. It's up to the political party to organize the delegates to get to where the location. Because you do what? Look, in this country, do we pay dues in political parties?
Yeah, we do.
We do. Huh? Are you sure we do?
Oh, they do.
Do members pay dues?
Oh, yes, we do.
They do.
You do?
Yes.
What happens to the dues?
That's what we used to run the party.
What happens to the dues? Isn't the responsibility of transporting delegates to locations for elections, isn't it the responsibility of the political party?
Yeah.
And does it happen? And you see, what even surprises me is when delegates say, oh, Baumia de buy, President Mohammed, John Mohammed de buy, where de buy, where de net also see way. When I hear that, I ask myself, what is wrong with us as a country? And sometimes, you see, what then happens is that you don't get the right people in parliament or in government. Look, and I keep saying it, and I'll continue to say it. This personal interest thing that we practice in this country, if it doesn't stop, it will bring this country to its knees. This bit where we want to buy elections, it has to stop. And it's up to the political parties, and it's up to, you see, it's as if the people's mind has been shifted, because you see, when you vote people into power and they come into power, they don't have any connection with the people anymore. So the people too want to do what? They want to have their cake and eat it. and they'll charge you as much as they want to because they know you will pay. What if NDC, MP, political parties in this country today said, look, delegates, Ghanaians, we are not going to pay a peswa for voting we are coming to. So if you like, don't vote.
Yeah. And
they stick to it. Will people say they won't vote? Do you think people say they won't vote?
No, that's not the problem.
What problem? What is the problem?
The problem is if the two political parties.
It's not the two political parties. It's the political system in this country that has to change. It's not the two political parties. It runs through all, including my own. It has to change, and we need to take. You see, this is a national issue that needs to be discussed, and it has to stop. And you see, the sad thing is that when parties now come into power, they are not able to create the kind of employment and jobs that people want. So people are lounging in poverty every day. Poverty can be a state of mind. Yes, it can. But people also need to work, don't they? Don't they? So where is that confluence between those in power and those people who voted for them? Where is it? Right now, what are they saying about Trump? He's doing what the people want.
Yeah.
He promised them certain things. As much as some of the things he's doing is wrong, that is what he promised the people. And he's doing it. He's doing it. Look at what we heard yesterday on your sister, your cousin station, Joy FM, on the, what do you call it? The Galamsey taxes. Some of us, haven't we spoke about this kind of thing on this platform before?
Yeah.
Where cartels are now coming in, haven't we? And it is happening. The illegality is being turned into legality by people who are supposed to represent government. What was that? Look, I sit and I wonder that what route is it taking? We should all condemn it. If Baba Jamal has done wrong, he's done wrong, irrespective of who he is. Nobody in this country is above the law. And when I heard him say what he said, I asked myself, you are a counsel. If for nothing at all, you're a lawyer, you should know better.
Yeah.
Don't encourage this kind of thing whatsoever. An allegation that he gave televisions. Is it an allegation? Is it an allegation? Okay, let's see. And then what even saddened me more was the chiefs. That's what saddened me more.
Is it protecting the sanctity of human?
I said it saddened me more. They've shown disrespect to the president. You know that? They've shown disrespect to the president. The president has seen that allegation that has come up, he needs to act on it. He's acted on it. And what are you saying? That if what? If they don't hold that election, there will be chaos. Yeah. The police should quickly go in. The IGP should quickly go in and warn them and even call them and question them. What did you mean by the statement you made? Because what are you doing? You're going to create mayhem.
Yeah.
Do you know what would happen if there's rioting in Nima? Do you know how it would affect traffic throughout Accra? And then we just sit and say, oh, that he said it, so it's okay. The chiefs have a responsibility to the people. The chiefs are not supposed to do what? Involve themselves in politics.
Yes.
They are the ones who are in there to calm the tension. Doesn't Otumfo do it all the time? Calm the tension. But don't use your platform as a chief to say the things that if you don't withhold that election, there can be chaos. It's up to you to talk to your people. And then the police sit. The security services sit. Just because the chief has said it. Is the chief bigger?
Did they really say there will be chaos?
What did he say?
That's what they said.
Really?
That if the election results are annulled, from what the information they pick on the ground, there'll be chaos.
That information they pick on the ground, they should tell the police. They should call the police in. They should call the intelligence. Look, this and this might go on if you do this. So please come in. That is their responsibility. But not to come on television, on the media, to say what they said. It's for all of us. And you're giving a responsibility as a chief to create peace. That's why you're there.
Right.
But don't use it to create mayhem. So what? The people have come to tell you, hey, or have they paid them? Have they paid them to talk? Look, let's get serious in this country. Let's get serious in this country. Elections, internal elections, that shouldn't be anything. And let me tell you, the NDC or any party has the right to annul their own internal elections. They have the right.
Because it's captured in the Constitution.
Yes, they have the right.
Well.
They indicated that they are having a by-election, didn't they?
Yeah.
Was it government who indicated it? It's the party who indicated it. And then the party says we are not happy with the conduct. Don't they have a right to annul it? Don't they? Did we use national money to do that election?
Of course, yeah.
National money. What?
The issue was there.
No, it's paid for. It's paid for.
Listen, it's the right. It's in the Constitution. It's the EC's right to be at any election.
I agree with you.
It's their right.
But it's even paid for.
And paid for. It's their right. The way it is your Juma to come and sit here.
Yeah.
And when they say come and sit here, you can't say I won't come and sit here. It's their right.
No, I agree with you. They conduct all
elections,
public elections.
Yes.
But the workers are being paid by the state.
And so
indirectly, the workers, the state pays for it.
He's being paid by GHOne to sit here.
No, you made a comment that did the state pay for the election? And I said yes, because the staff that went there paid by the state.
So electoral commission, who are they there for?
They are there for the state.
What is their responsibility?
To conduct elections.
So
but who pays them?
The fact that it is their responsibility to do. They haven't been hired.
So what I'm saying, so the state pays. That's the point I'm making.
Say yeah election okrom ha won kwa na betimi abegyina ho akasa election no ye control it nobody else can do it.
So now
let's stop this.
I agree with you on that.
Please, let's stop this monocracy system we have in our election.
But the politicians fear that if they stop that, they can't win elections.
If we do it together,
So a general consensus. How would that be feasible?
Wait. Vice President Bawumia is now flag bearer.
The flag bearer for the MPP. Yes.
For MPP. John Mahama is going.
Yes.
But NDC haven't brought out their flag bearer yet.
So
you take Dr. Bawumia, you take the flag bearer, the president, you take Alan Chematin, who is the flag bearer for
UP.
Party, UP. You take don't have a flag bearer now, but you take members of the CPP.
You're chairman.
The chairman of the CPP, all the political parties, and you sit and you discuss it, including the chiefs. Sit and discuss it. Come out and make a statement and stick to it. And any of your members who you see doing this, you take them on.
Right.
Nobody, I don't think my brother here, no wonder, feel that this monocracy thing is good.
Oh no.
Don't feel it's good. If you don't feel it's good, don't you have to resolve it?
Right.
That's what I was really worried when.
Don't you have to resolve it?
Vehicles were shit.
So we
Banta.
You see, the thing is that, look at them going. We need to be able to educate our people well. We need to be able to create jobs for our people. Look, and you see, it saddens me.
Right.
Gold. Gold is a fantastic business. Galamsey, unfortunately, is making it a stupid business. But let me ask you, don't you think if we are able to structure this gold industry well, it will create employment throughout the country?
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. There are two types of mining in this country. There's the gold mining that the Newmans and all the others are doing. Have you heard of tailings? Do you know what tailings are? When the small scale miners, they to formula and then they use chemicals and to take the gold out. The rubbish that they put aside, that is called tailings. Do you know that you still get gold out of tailings? There are companies in the Western region today who don't mine gold. They only use tailings. And do you know the quantum of gold they get out from tailings? That goes to show you that gold in this country is everywhere. If we were to structure it well, will it not create employment for millions of people?
Yeah.
Would it not? Would that not be a source of employment for a lot of our rural people? So far as it's structured well, the right taxes are paid. Would it not? But no, we don't want to do it. Why? Because politicians are part and parcel of it. They are not prepared to give up those politicians who are doing it. And the environment, the destruction of the environment is continuing. Does it make sense to you, Kodjo? Does it make sense to any of my brothers sitting here? And maybe I'm talking to the air, maybe I'm talking too much. But maybe I'm 68.
Yeah.
I remember when my father was taking his last breath. You know what he asked me?
Wow.
He was the last minister of the cabinet minister of Nkrumah to die.
Yeah.
I was standing by his bedside at Konfanoche. Because he'd seen the system and saw that we were doing things wrong. Me too, I will go. And if I sit here and I do not talk about it, then I'm not doing a service to my people.
Right.
I'm not doing a service to my country.
Right.
When you go out of Ghana, you realize how good and sweet Ghana is. I just came from Norway. I wonder, easy. -6.
Wow.
But although they've been able to put their country right, and they are doing the right things in their country, I want to go would tell you. You buy your light shirts. And you're now boy. Aren't we breathing? This country is good if we can handle it well.
Right.
We should stop the kind of politics we play and come together in situations like this and speak with one voice for the people to stop some of the things they are doing.
Absolutely.
Because it's money.
Right. Right. So that's Kwame Jantwa, and of course, clearly, call to national duty. We need to respond to that call and make sure that we kick money out of our politics. But then we'll take a breather. When we come back, we'll be talking about Cocoa Board and the issues arising from the cocoa farmers are not happy. Cocoa Board says, well, we'll make sure that we do what we need to do. But will that really meet the expectation of the farmers? We'll get to know shortly after this break. But before that, too, this Valentine's season, MTN Ghana Foundation, in partnership with CalBank, is calling on all Ghanaians to show love in the most meaningful way. And the most meaningful way is by saving a life. And so join us for the 2026 MTN Save a Life Blood Donation Drive happening on Friday, the 13th of February, 2026 from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and it will take place at the MTN Ghana head office, Mobile Money Limited office at the Stanchart building, CalBank head office in Ridge, and at 44 other donation centers nationwide. So regardless of where you find yourself, there would be a donation center close to you. Now, this annual campaign invites MTN staff, customers, suppliers, partners, and the public to come together and also help boost blood supply for the National Blood Service and regional hospitals across the country. Remember, your single donation can give life to someone else. And this Valentine, share a gift that truly comes from the heart, which is the blood. And so give love, give life, donate blood on the 13th of February as we join MTN to do that as well. So we'll take a breather. We'll return shortly. Right, so welcome back to the conversation. This is Jay today here on GHOne Television. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. And of course, I'm sure that most of you are preparing for this weekend and you're looking at how to, surprise that loved one of yours. Well, Goldboard Jewelry says, say it with gold. And so for those of you who are thinking of making proposals, all those ideas, but some of you, you're not getting how you should go about it. Well, listen, Goldboard Jewelry says, relax, take a pause. All the problems that you are having in terms of putting this together, put the burden on them. So come to Goldboard Jewelry. They'll help you go about the whole proposal, go about celebrating your loved one in the season. So for couples in this week, Goldboard Jewelry says that enter any of their shops, have a conversation with them, and they'll give you a structure for you to be able to say, I love you in gold. So what you need to do is to quickly move to any of the Goldboard shops located nationwide. You can find them, some at Otele Street, on the Spintex Road as well. Kimbu, they do have an office there as well. So find any of these ones, even in Kumasi at the Prempeh, the First International Airport. Goldboard Jewelries have a shop there, or you can just visit their website www.jewelry.goldboard.gov.gh or call 055 152 2233. That's 055 152 2233 for further enquiries. And I keep advising that you need to brush your teeth morning and also at night before you go to bed. That's how you get healthy teeth. That's how you make sure that you have fresh breath every single day. Now, for those of you who love the charcoal flavor, guess what? Pepsodent Charcoal says, come, they'll give you the Pepsodent Charcoal, which is infused with fluoride and a unique combination of natural charcoal, lemon, mint, and zinc. Now, what this does is to whiten your teeth and give you that fresh breath all day long. But for those of you who also like the herbal products, Pepsodent Herbal says, no worries at all. They would give you that special blend with green tea and herbal extracts as well to keep your mouth smelling throughout the day. And because Pepsodent is the #1 toothpaste brand in Ghana, the dentists always recommend Pepsodent. So just call 0800 161 000. That is 0800 161 000 to speak to a dentist for free today. And if you want to reach out to Pepsodent, call their customer care line on toll free 0800 200 030. 0800 200 030. With Pepsodent, every smile matters. So, gentlemen, let me come back to the studio, and we've talked extensively about the Ayawaso East matters, and Ali is not happy with the special prosecutor. They says only if you and leave the MPP alone.
Don't make it.
But let me come back to you, Ali, on this matter of cocoa prices and the fact that farmers are complaining that they've not been paid. I remember having a conversation with one of the farming bodies, and they say, well, it could be that Cocoa Board has released funds to the LBCs, but the funds have not reached them. Now, there's been so much that has been said about the whole Cocoa Board relationship with the farmers in terms of payment. Where do you stand on the matter?
Kodjo, this matter, I have a personal interest. One, because I'm a son of a cocoa farmer.
Right.
And my secondary school education was funded by Cocoa Board through Cocoa Scholarship.
Yeah.
And as we speak, my dad is no more, but he bequeathed to us a cocoa farm. So although I'm not in control, but the family still controls the cocoa farm. Yeah. And more importantly, I just arrived from home, and my place is purely cocoa growing area, and it's like, how do you call it? Garden Philippines or something?
Garden Filikadochi.
Filikadochi. Also, really, what the cocoa farmers are going through.
Okay.
So this is a very important topic for me. Could you trust me? It's not easy in the countryside, especially the cocoa growing areas. It's not easy. The cocoa growing areas, some farmers, their only source of income is the cocoa, and they do other crops on subsistence level.
Right.
So the main income is cocoa. So when the money is not coming, it affects virtually everything in the community. It affects businesses. Because the cocoa is the mainstay. Trust me, cocoa farmers are not been paid since November. The last time they received payment, especially in Doma West, as I know, is in November. And it has never happened. I think the last time it happened was under Rollins. It has never happened for the past 20 years. And you see, it has affected even their case education. I know a number of students that couldn't make it to the university. Because you know, the academic year starts in January. And if you say you're cocoa and you are not get paid, the child cannot go to school.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of cases that couldn't make it to the university. Oh, they have the admission, but they couldn't go to university. A lot of them.
Because their parents have not been paid.
They've not been paid.
Okay.
So there's no way they could go to school. So for me, it's a very critical issue. But my worry is how you are not being candid with the issues. I'll plead around the Abbey. See you are meant to solve problems. You are not meant to lament. You are put there to solve problems. And the reasons that is being given are not even tenable. They are not the reason why the cocoa farmers are not being paid. And you see, not long ago, just last month, the first person to come out to talk about this matter is the board chairman, Honorable Mr. Fusompofo. He's the board chairman of Cocoa Board. And the reason he gave is completely different from the reason the CEO is giving today. He said the farmers are not being paid because the dollar is down. And I think your station has a postcard on that. He said the farmers are not being paid because the dollar is down. Now, Mr. Randebi is telling us that the farmers are not being paid because MPP left huge debt there. Kodjo, MPP left. We left office in 2024 December, but we handed over in January 2025. The season ended around, the 2024-25 season ended around April. We were able to buy cocoa and pay them, but the death was, there was still death. Then there was a minor season. Cocoa Board was able to pay. How come the death didn't affect those two payments? And two, Kodjo, there's every government inherited debt at Cocoa Board. In fact, when we came into government in 2017, some of the debt we inherited were way up to Professor Moss' time that we inherited. In fact, when we came, the syndicated loan that they contracted had finished in December. And you know, they targeted in 2016, they targeted 850 metric tons. They had only bought 500, and the syndicated loan is finished. But MPP managed to buy the cocoa and pay cocoa farmers. Today, they are talking about a debt around 38 billion. Forgetting that the inflows that they've even got to pay, Bank of Ghana's report, is almost 40 billion. Mr. Randebi is conveniently talking about the death, but he has never talked about the assets, what he inherited. For me, this is dishonesty on his part. The problem that why we are not paying cocoa farmers is not because of that, it's because there's a management decision and two politics. How so? I'm coming there. One, let me deal with the political issue. You see, Cocoa Board has cocoa marketing company that sells our cocoa, and normally they take somebody from within to make him the managing director of Cocoa Marketing Board. When NDC came, there is when Mr. Randebi was appointed, then another guy who was appointed, I've forgotten his name, as the chief director of Cocoa Market. Now there's a friction between him and Randebi because they all believe that we are all bosses. But although we are managing director of Cocoa Marketing Board, we still work under the CEO of Cocoa Board.
Yes.
But go to Cocoa Board and see today. The managing director of Cocoa Marketing Board thinks that he's equal to the CEO. So there's politics and there's like friction there. And two, could you believe that since Mr. Randebi assumes office, all the directors are now sitting home. But they are being paid though. They've been asked to go home, sitting home. they've appointed people to take their position, but the directors are being, the experienced people are being paid. As you speak, they are sitting room are being paid.
I spoke to his head of corporate affairs. He rejected that claim. He says, yes, people have been moved around, and that's at the sole discretion of the CEO. So if people are moved around, it's still market, it's governance, and there's no problem with that.
So
some are also on leave.
So Kodjo, if you come and your best brains are pushed out, your best brains that you have, the most experienced guys on the job are pushed out, and then there's a mess. How do you blame your predecessor? The reason they couldn't do the forward sale, you see, Ghana from time immemorial, what do we do forward sale? But apparently when they came, they thought that we could do a point sale, looking at how cocoa prices were going up. But forgetting that the cocoa sector, there's a lot of volatility in the cocoa sector. So you have a price going up. You refuse to sell your cocoa. Now the price has come down. That's the reason that they can't sell the cocoa. Now there are about 200 metric tons of cocoa sitting there that they can't sell. Because if they sell, they run at loss. Imagine when we had about between 10,000 and 12,000, you've done the forward sale of even 7,000. You still sell your cocoa and still make profit and pay the farmers. So what is going on has nothing to do with death or
the legacy debts.
The legacy debt. It's purely management, decision, and politics. So for me, I'll urge Mr. Rendiabi to set up. And it's a lesson to all of us as politicians. You can't have your way and think that when there are issues, you go and blame others. The cocoa farmer does it in Kankwanta. The cocoa farmer does it in Kokonya. All that he cares about is monies are paid. Now, you know, this government is in dilemma. Either to reduce the cocoa price or to allow the dollar to jump to offset the difference. Whatever way they go, it's a problem. Right. Because you promised cocoa farmers 6,000. Now you are paying 3,600. You can't go further and reduce about 2,800 or 2,500. The other side of it is that now everything in this country, if you talk about electricity, but they say, oh, dollar is down. You can't allow the dollar to go up. Right. So there's clearly a case in our hand.
Right.
That calls for a swift management attention. So I'm urging on Mr. Rendiabi, there's no need to go to media houses and make your case. The best case he can make is to pay the cocoa farmers.
Okay.
That's what they want to hear.
Wanda.
Thank you.
He says it's not legacy debts. It's not a matter of debts. It's just managerial lapses that is causing what we are seeing.
No, but I have taken a principal decision in this matter. That even if there are legacy debts, we voted for reset. We are in power. We must solve the problem. That is the bottom line.
Right.
But for persons, I don't like the politics of equalization. That's my worry with the members of the MPP. They pretend as though nothing happened under their regime. Look, as of 2023, the cocoa season started September 2023. The local buyers, they couldn't get their money up until January 2026. So there was a fundamental problem. The syndicated loan had broke down. We are not able to get the money to pay these buyers. But like I said, I am not particular about the past problems. My view is that we must solve the problem. That is why we are in power. We called for reset. It's just like the energy challenge. When we took over, there was a looming danger. But through the hard work of the Honorable Minister, nobody had done so. The problem has been solved. That is how all the sectors, all the institutions must work. I am not privy to the fact that the former MP for Doma West is saying that some directors are home, and that there's some conflict between some appointee and the CEO for Cocoa Board. I don't have that fact, so I won't speak to it respectfully. But my point is that, be that as it may, we voted for reset. We are in power for reset. So all the challenges have to be solved. But you can only solve a problem if you first identify the solution.
Right.
if you first identify that the problem exists in the first place. So we must admit that the NPP regime could not sustain the annual syndicated loan system that is used to buy the cocoa. That is the bottom line. Because you know that a forward contract is signed.
Yeah.
So first, government determine the output for the cocoa season. Then the forward contract is signed with international buyers. Then this contract now serves as a collateral for a syndicated loan, and the money is lodged with the Bank of Ghana, and the proceeds from the loan is used to pay the buyers. So essentially, that is how it operates. I mean, I'm not a son of a cocoa farmer, like our former MP who benefited, even had scholarship from Cocoa Board. I never had scholarship. You understand? I had to go around selling polo on the street of Ashama to school. You understand? But he was privileged to get scholarship from Cocoa Board to school. So I could understand his worry. But he should admit, respectfully, for someone who benefits from cocoa, he should be the first to admit the challenges that happened under the MPP, for which reason why the syndicated loan was not sustained. If we are on the same page and this admission is made, then we can now call for a proper solution. But like I have said, that look, we are in power. We voted for reset. We voted for reset. So all CEOs are expected to work to implement the policy and vision of President Mohammed. I do not think that President Mohammed during his campaign will have said that when we come, we will not pay cocoa farmers because of a failed syndicated loan. No, that's not what we promised. So yes, I know Dr. Randiabe is a go-getter, is a focused person, but I want to urge him to remain focused on his job, to not let the past issues affect him, the past issues at Cocoa Board affect him. He should get his team together and solve the problem. That is what Ghanaians will want solution. Thank you.
Okay. Uncle, I know how passionate you get when it comes to cocoa issues as well.
Yeah, because I'm also a cocoa farmer.
Yeah.
Just like him, father left us huge cocoa farming in Korea. And I have worked with Cocoa Board with regards to picking up the cocoa produce on the farm. And you can see that they know exactly what they are doing and where they want the cocoa industry to go.
Right.
But you know something, Kodjo? The challenge we face is from years of not progressing the cocoa industry. A huge challenge. Do you know there's a company in Ghana today, a private sector company in Ghana today, who extracts, the sap around the cocoa bean, and turns it into juice? You know the company in Ghana doing that today, adding value to that sap that we dry off and throw away. And taste the juice. Fantastic, pure cocoa juice. They are in Abelimpe here.
I saw their billboard in town.
Yes.
Recently.
Wow.
Abelimpe here. Do you know who they've linked into? They've linked into the Swiss, and the Swiss are buying all their production. Now I say this because shouldn't we have gotten to a stage where we add value to cocoa and stop exporting beans whole? And if we were to add value to cocoa, this edifice of Cocoa Board, would we need it? Because if there are factories in this country that are buying the beans and turning the beans into liquor to export, is that not more money? I have exported cocoa liquor before in this country. In the 90s, I used to take it from cocoa processing in Tema into the UK. And as it lucrative. And you know why? I couldn't sustain it. They couldn't sustain supply. And if we are to add value, if on every cocoa farm, we can have a small processing plant where as the beans come in, they are turned into liquor, we make more money than selling beans. Chocolate is one of the most lucrative businesses in the world. Chocolate. Look at what we are getting for our beans. We send it out there for others to turn it into chocolate, and then we buy back our own golden tree, which is better than the milk chocolate that is done abroad. We can't even export in quantity. So, if that is the case, how do we pay cocoa farmers when we don't have the money to pay them? How do we pay cocoa farmers if we don't structure it properly? Right now, the Swiss have come up with some technology where even the pod, they are adding value. Pod, they are adding value. And we are sitting here, and are we number 1 or number 2 now, where cocoa is concerned?
We are still number 2. We are behind Ivory Coast.
We are behind what?
Cote d'Ivoire.
And you're trying to tell me that Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire cannot take the market and say to the world, we are adding value to our beans today. If you want cocoa, come and buy our added value cocoa beans. Will we not make more money? Will we not create more employment? Will we not be able to pay farmers and pay them well? Will we not be able to do it? Because really, like doctors, cocoa farmers should be given priority.
Yeah.
They should be given priority. Because cocoa has sustained this country. And even better now, 3 commodities, oil, gold, cocoa, can look after this country comfortably if we structure and manage it properly in terms of adding value. Do you know what it means if we are to add value to oil? Do you know what it means if you are to add value to gold? Do you know what it means if you are to add value to cocoa? Factories in Kwa. The Dubais of this world, and the Indians of this world, who have huge revenues in gold, will that not come to our country? Will we not be able to create the kind of employment and even make sure the private sector is energized, because all that money would be in our banks? Our banks will be able to lend at low interest rates and create a better economy for our country. We will not be able to do that. So for me, this particular problem should be a trigger for us to now sit and see, look, this thing hasn't worked. It happened in the MPP time. They went for loans. In the end, it's become a debt for us, hasn't it? This is where we sit down and say, this way we are doing it is not right. How do we add value? And in adding value, it is not government who should add value. Get the private sector in. There's a company in Tema, Niche. Do they not have cocoa processing? What do you call? Yeah. Do they not make chocolates?
They produce chocolates.
And you're trying to tell me that we cannot go to Marks and Spencer's and say to them that we add value to our cocoa. We want to do your brand chocolates for you, because Marks and Spencer have their own brand chocolate. Will they not bring us their their packaging for us to do their chocolate for them? We should think further, because this particular problem has happened every time. Name it. You see, been in media for what, 12 years? Have you not heard this system repeat itself all the time? So this is a time for us to sit down and think and say to ourselves, our cocoa farmers need better. What can we do to help them? Adding value. Look, Nyame Odogano, once upon a time, I used to export pineapples.
Wow.
I used to export pineapples into Europe. And any time Ghanaian pineapples got onto the market, it attracted a premium. Why? The quality.
Yeah.
There's something in our soils that make what we grow better than any other. A cocoa bean is better than Cote d'Ivoire. Our pineapple is better than Cote d'Ivoire. But we don't take advantage of the richness of our soils to do what? To add value to our products and to export and make more money for our country. So for me, I would not, and I take what Wanda says. The NDC have come into power to do what?
To solve
problems. My good friend Randy should solve the problem. The president put him there because the president felt he had the wherewithal to be at Cocoa Board. Solve the problem with your board chairman. Stop the politics. Cocoa farmers are people we depend on. It's only a few months ago, I saw Tetekwashi statue at, what do you call it? Tetekwashi roundabout. Long overdue. It's high time we don't treat cocoa farmers the way we are treating cocoa farmers, because they have sustained this country for a long time.
Right.
It's only nowadays we are getting oil and we are, gold. And gold. We are trying to do gold. We should be able to solve this problem once and for all. And please, and it's a good thing that we are IMF. Like, what would we do? GHOne. This is a situation where now we can't go for loan. Let's solve it. And for me, to solve this problem, let's add value.
Let's add value.
Yes. Just a quickly.
Yes.
One that made a point that because MPP couldn't go for syndication, that led to this problem. Why couldn't you also go for syndication last year? Tell us why. Why couldn't Andy also go for the syndication?
I was just telling you where the problem started from.
No,
you understand.
No,
but you may know.
No, you see, Kodjo, the syndication is this.
Yes.
You sign sales agreement with a company, and they say that go and source funding from maybe Wanda, and then when I give you the cocoa, you pay the money to Wanda. That's it. So what the fund arrangement for 2024 to 2025 was just to take the banks out. Let me deal with you
directly.
I'll sign the agreement with you. I'll supply you my cocoa. I'll give you. I'll ship it. I'll give you the bill of lading. You pay me. Mm-hmm. They're simple. So one that has nothing to do with syndication. Like I said, it's purely management decision and politics. Mr. Jantua, I'm not sure the lack of value addition is the reason the cocoa farmers are not being paid. That is not it. And you came to. I'm coming. I'm coming.
But that's not what
I'm saying.
saying.
And then we seem to create an impression that this problem has been happening over the years. As I said, in my 20 years in cocoa farming, this is the first. I told you the last time it happened. For 3 months, cocoa farmers are not being paid. Was in the 90s. Just call any cocoa farmer. The last time that cocoa farmer had not been paid for 3 months, it happened in the 90s.
No, 2023.
No,
2023. Yeah.
No.
It's from September. They were paid in January.
No.
Really?
Go check.
Okay.
Go check.
Wow.
Go check.
Because the CEO, Dr. Andiabi,
I'm
said.
saying that's a lie. Go check. The last time cocoa farmers had never been paid for this period of time happened in the 90s. But that's why we are saying this. It's not like it's a repeated problem. No, it's not a repeated problem. It's a problem that we have brought upon ourselves.
It happens all the time, brother.
No.
All the time.
No. That's not the case at all. No, Kodjo, that's not the case at all. So, and you see, the value addition is necessary. That's why Kodjo brought one day.
One day, show factory.
One day, one. They're not going to go talk such a program down. But I'm happy today. He thinks that. Value addition is the way to go. I also think
said it, but you people didn't handle your one factory properly.
Can you imagine?
Please, you didn't.
Can you imagine?
You wanted 100% before you did anything. You stop that. Don't even go down there.
You wanted what?
Don't go down that route.
That's not true.
If it was, if you were able to handle it, we would have gone far. You weren't able to handle it. Personal interest came in.
Nana, because you took it down based on for your interest, you took it down.
How did I talk it down? Didn't I support it here?
Yeah.
I supported it here.
Mr. Jantua,
it is how you handled it.
There are so many.
It is how you managed it. It's how you managed it.
Consistently has been on that track.
It is how you managed it.
Mr. Jantua has been the one talking against one this one.
No. I'm in the private sector.
Yeah.
I'm on AGI. Please. Don't do that.
I've been following you.
It's when you started mismanaging it.
I've been following you.
It is when you started mismanaging it.
Thank you.
It is when you started mismanaging it. When you started mismanaging it.
Ali Do is a former member of Parliament for Doma West and also a member of the MPP. Wanda Victor Kuto Esquire, board member of the Volunteering Authority and paralegal practitioner. His book, 13th of March, 4 p.m. Ghana Shippers Authority. We are all going there. And Kwame Jantua is a paralegal practitioner, member of the Convention People's Party, the CPP.
Legal practitioner.
Yes, you are too. So 3 lawyers and 1 non-lawyer. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. We'll take a breather. We'll return with more. Stick and stay with us.
Welcome back to the show. This is still GH Today here on GHOne TV, and I am Lily Mohammed. Let's talk about the petroleum industry and whether or not Ghana has benefited from commercializing petroleum in the country. And I've been joined this morning by Eric Eko Abedu. He's a gas and financial specialist who has worked both in Ghana's downstream and upstream industry. Good morning, Eko. How are you? You're welcome. It's a pleasure having you here. 15 years down the line since exploration of oil in commercial quantities. Have we benefited as a country?
Well, I think that in 2007, when the discovery was made, it was a major milestone. But I think oil itself doesn't develop countries.
How?
So what truly matters is how a country structures its laws, its institutions, and then its systems to manage the resource. But I believe that 15 years after starting production, we have a lot of valuable lessons to share in areas that are very encouraging, and then in areas that we also have to continue to strengthen governance and build capacity.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll talk about the areas that we need to strengthen governance and build capacity. But where are we in petroleum industry? Where are we? From where you sit, where are we?
Okay. So I can say that we have entered a completely new economic space since 2007. At the moment, our upstream sector is in the maturity stage, rather than being in the infancy stage. And then I can also say that since 2010, we have pivoted from discovery to producing across multiple fields. And we have also done well to develop local expertise. And we have also built institutions which are expected across Africa. Now, at the same time, we have had our production levels plateauing. So it means already they are declining. And also our exploration activities have been slow. And we are also now operating in a very challenging global environment because of the competition which is offered by the so-called renewables. But all in all, I can say that we have strong foundations, only that if we want to continue getting the desired value, then we have to make deliberate policy choices.
Like?
Reviewing our fiscal terms to stay competitive while protecting national interests. We also have to continue building capacity in states, institutions to keep pace with the growing complexity of oil and gas projects. And then, of course, I think that we should always be looking at our legal framework and how we can update them to suit the current
changing trends,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
So if you say we need to update our legal trends, what are some of the things? I mean, you've worked in both the upstream and downstream for many years. Where do you think we need to fix our focus on in terms of the legal framework, the legalities?
Yes, I think, you see, reviewing legal framework or any other areas it's actually a natural, how do I put it, a natural evolution point for any oil and gas country. It's just normal that when you start producing as a country, you are not as experienced as you have to be. But as time goes on, you review your legal framework. You can also review how your costs are audited, how your revenues are shared, and even how your revenue assurance mechanisms are also drawn. Because if you don't do that, you lose value to the IOCs.
Earlier, you mentioned that we need to strengthen our governance and institutional capacity. Which areas? Where exactly? And how can we do this so that we both benefit?
Yeah. If you talk of governance, there are so many areas. Okay. I publish every month on LinkedIn, and it is called the Upstream Governance Review.
Why?
We have so many areas. So we have laws, we have energy transition, we have human capacity, we have legal framework, we have how to engage with the IOCs, and we also have how to ensure that over time the locals take over. Because when locals take over, it is cheaper for the country because they don't cost as much as the experts. The experts
you have to pay them more.
Yes, they may be taking
capital flights too.
Yes, exactly. So there are so many areas of governance, and even how you verify the expenditure that the IOCs present for claims. You know, there is something in the industry we call cost recovery. Whatever the IOC spend in producing the oil, they are entitled to ask us to refund. So at the end of the day, if you don't understand how the expenditures are drawn, they bring you anything and you
then
pay.
You go with it.
And as a nation, you lose. I remember just about 2 weeks ago, the government of Kazakhstan has sued some of the top IOCs in their countries for an overpaid claims of about $4 billion. So it's a serious business. And if you're a country and you are in this sector, the government needs to open its eyes and train the locals to be sharp shooters so that you don't just pay any claims. Because the more you pay, the more we have, the less we have revenue to even fix our roads.
That's true.
That's it.
That's true. So in terms of governance, in our current state, which specific areas need proper streamlining?
I wouldn't say exactly that there's this place that we need fixing, or there's that place that we need fixing. But let me show you how our system works.
Okay.
So on the top, we have the Ministry of Energy that sets the policy direction.
Yeah.
Then we have PC, which is the Petroleum Commission, which oversees the IOCs and ensures that they are working with standards and regulations. Then we have the GNPC, which is the National Oil Company, which protects the commercial interests of the country. Then we have PIAC, that is the Public Interest and Accountability Committee. Yes, whose mandate is to ensure that first the sales we get or the revenue we get from the sales of the petroleum actually get properly accounted for by the government as receipts.
So it commiserates.
Exactly. And that's one. And then two, because the government also uses the same revenue to undertake social interventions and infrastructure support, PIAC has to track whether indeed these things have been done. Okay, and then we have the GRA, which also ensures that the proper tax is paid and even the time that it has to be paid, it has been paid. Now, you know, you've been in Ghana and you know the issues about a year or two ago GRA had with some of the IOCs and even PIAC, the issues it had with the government and all that. So that's why I'm saying I don't want to point a finger, but they themselves, they know. What they have to do is to keep their ears on the ground and ensure that they are actually copying from other countries that are doing the best things. And in any case, in this industry, you can't be perfect. You always have to continue learning and evolving. Yes.
And then, with regards to technical capacity, have we done enough in that regard? I like that.
Yeah. You see, if you talk of technical capacity, it's very broad.
Okay.
So we have, let's say, the areas where local can manage, like being an offshore installation manager.
Okay.
Okay. You can also have a local who is a financial controller in an IOC. Then you can also have a local who is at PC, who is in the area of regulation. And these are all technical areas.
Okay.
If you want to hear whether we have done enough, I don't think we can ever do enough.
Okay.
What I can say is that we need to keep learning, and we need to keep being hungry to learn. Because if we don't, we are left behind. Yeah.
You know, there's this notion about what locals bring on board and what expats bring on board. In the oil industry, do we still have that disparity?
In
terms of the locals having better, lesser technical know-how than the expats?
Yeah, it is always like that.
Okay.
You know, I know a Ghanaian who, when the upstream came on board, he had stayed elsewhere, I think Britain also worked with BP for so long. So even though he was local, he was also an expert because he had traveled around the world and handled so many oil fields. So he came as an expert. Now the interesting thing is that a Ghanaian who is seen here as local, as soon as he gets a job in a place like, let's say, Namibia or Saudi Arabia, he's also now an expert. So it's actually not a very cut and dry thing.
Okay.
It depends on where you find yourself. It's very contextual. But I think that, again, the industry is so complex that you can't sit. You always have to evolve. You always have to.
Anytime we talk about oil revenues, people say, oh, Ghanaians are being shortchanged. Ghanaians are being shortchanged. Realistically, how does that work?
Okay, so what I can say is that we need to put oil revenue into proper perspective.
Okay.
There is no doubt that oil can do a lot for our economy. But on its own, it can't transform an economy like Ghana's. On its own.
Why? Because, you know, there's this notion that in other countries, in the Middle East, for instance, if you look at some countries, oil has transformed their country, oil has done a lot for them. Then we come to Ghana. And we say, we have all the resources. We have oil. We're doing oil in commercial quantities, but this is our state.
Yeah, let me tell you. You know Saudi Arabia? They produce about 10 million barrels every day. They have the largest oil field in the world, both onshore and offshore. But even the IMF is saying that for them to be able to balance their budgets and meet their developmental agenda, the oil price needs to be at least $80 per barrel. So this is Saudi Arabia, the largest producer of oil.
So
Saudi Arabia.
The external factors.
Yeah, external factor. But if you would allow me, see, oil revenues tend to fluctuate with world market prices.
Sure.
With production levels. So if your production levels have plateaued and they are declining, there's nothing you can do about it. And they even fluctuate with costs, which the government can do nothing about. And they also compete, remember, with other national priorities. So assuming that the government is constructing a road with cocoa money, and then cocoa price falls, but at the time oil price is good, you can't say because that road is being constructed with cocoa money, it should wait till cocoa price goes up. The government will shift the revenue from oil to fix that road. So there are always competing priorities. But I think what oil does best, when managed prudently, is to help stabilize budgets, help with infrastructure support, and then also ensure that there is no borrowing pressures from the government. Now, it is only when we understand how oil revenue works that we will shift the conversation from spending quickly to managing wisely, which is where oil truly adds value. Yes.
Okay. At the last COP30,
yes,
one of the critical things that we're speaking about was clean energy and how the world can transition. Are we making strides? Where are we as a country? How do we fit in?
As a country, Ghana, I don't know. I must be honest. But I think the fact that we now have a minister who is in charge
of, so it's not just energy but green transition.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's a step in the right direction. But I think even when you go to America, it depends whether a Republican is in office or a Democrat is in office. And when you go to the UK, it's a mixture of everything. This government comes, they say, oh, we want to promote drilling in the North Sea. And then before you open your eyes, there's another very powerful NGO that is saying no. So I think, honestly, we don't have to abandon fossil fuel. We need to manage its transition alongside introducing renewables, because that will ensure that even as we transition, we still have reliable, secure, and then cheaper energy. Else, if we suddenly say we don't want fossil fuel and we jump to renewables, they will become so expensive that it will become a thing for the elite. Even in Ghana, how many ordinary people have solar in their houses?
That's a critical point. They say solar is expensive. If we are to transition, like you're saying, it has to be a gradual thing. But will we ever get there where renewables are easier and accessible to every Ghanaian? How long will it take us?
Yeah. Actually, you see, when you say something is renewable, because it depends on nature largely. You should also be careful that it comes with certain downsides. So, for example, if you are using the sun and for some days the sun doesn't come, what do you do? If you are using the wind and for some reason the wind doesn't blow anymore, what do you do? If you are using the tide of the ocean and for some reason it is low, what do you do? So it's not something like a perfect world where everything is renewable. Neither is it that we should do everything with fossil fuel. But I think, as I've already said, we have to continue juggling between the two and ensure that in a perfect world, we have the Goldilocks of both. Yeah.
What are the positives of renewables?
It's a lot.
Okay.
But you see, for me, I've come to realize that there is an agenda every day.
Okay.
Yes. So those who want to promote renewables will say certain things which are good, and those who want to promote fossil, they will say things which are good. I don't want to be seen to be promoting just renewables or putting down fossils. But I will always urge that even in normal everyday life, you have to diversify or hedge your bets all the time so that it's a win-win all the time rather than putting everything putting all your eggs in one basket and having your fingers badly burnt.
Mm-hmm. Now that we have a combination of energy and green transition, what do you think that in the next 10 years we should be looking at to better our lot as a country?
I think in the next 10 years, as a country, I think we should strive doing better what we have already been doing. So, for example, in Ghana, assuming we are lucky and we strike oil again, I don't think we should abandon it. No, we should continue ensuring that the locals are trained well to take over, because it's very expensive to keep experts. At the same time, I also believe that we need to look properly into how to get more renewables in Ghana. After all, in Africa, we are one of the continents that is blessed with a lot of nature.
That's true.
So, I mean, we should not close our eyes and think that because it's easy and very obvious to have an IOC to come and drill for oil, we should close that door. No, we should combine the two. So over the next 10 years, I am hoping that in 10 years, we'll be having about 30% of our domestic users using renewables and 70% fossil, so that gradually, it will be a balance. That's okay.
Okay. And in terms of our financials, in 10 years, you think that we would have done better? If you look at the projections so far.
Yeah, yes, all things being equal. But you see, in the real world, not all things are equal.
It's been awesome having you here. And I'm sure this will not be the last of us meeting
not at all.
On this
not
network.
At all.
Thank you very much for coming. And that's Eric Ekowabedu. He is an oil and gas financial specialist. He's helped us understand what really happens in the upstream petroleum industry, how we can leverage on the changing times. Let's do some celebrations now. Well, that's a good helmet, the OC brand. Yeah. It's not just transforming how we drive, but also how we think about our environment. Let's dive into the innovative lineup of electric vehicles and discover how they are paving the way for a cleaner and greener Ghana. Call EV Afrique today on 0256 063 408, 0256 063 408, or you can check everything you want to find on the EV Afrique cars on info@evafrique.com, info@evafrique.com. My name is Lily Mohammed. I do the show with Joshua, Kodjo, Mensah. The news team returns to your screen with the news at 11:30 a.m. Have a good morning.